version of the conspiracy theory, which is to make the conspiracy theory seem crazy. Like in your head, if I was to open this party back up right now and somebody who did know a lot about the conspiracy but didn't believe it came inside, you know what they would say? You know, the first thing they would say? They all say the same thing, but just in different words. They say this. They say, "Oh, you believe in Comet Ping Pong? Or you believe in Pizzagate? The crazy theory that there's a fucking kids in a basement? There's no basement in Comet Ping Pong. That's crazy."
Can you tell me what Pizzagate is?
So the reason why they'd say that is because that is the media narrative that was spin. Does that make sense? That was the media's version of the
Yeah.
conspiracy, but in real life, that there was never an accusation of kids in a basement. Does that make sense? That was never a
Well,
thing.
then what is Pizzagate based on what you know?
The media took control of the narrative off of something that legitimately made sense and then turned it into something that didn't make sense. That way, when rational, level-headed people see that story about some basement, they tell themselves, "Oh, that's completely crazy." Make sense?
Okay.
So
Well, then what is it?
all right, listen, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the best way to understand the truth of what happened is to understand the timeline of events. We're gonna walk you simply this step by step the timeline of events. All I'm gonna ask from anybody in the party is keep me accountable for everything I said. So I will eventually prove everything I said and make sure that I prove it. Any hard claim that I make, keep me accountable for it. Because again, I just told you being a party is no reason to believe in something just to believe it, just because something makes sense, right? That's not proof of anything. A lot of things, quote unquote, make sense and don't turn out what they're supposed to. So I start at the beginning, okay? Well, let's go. Where did this conspiracy theory come from? So, do you guys remember in 2016 when Hillary was gearing up to run for president and Trump was coming out saying he's going to run for president? Everyone kept making references toward Hillary Clinton's emails. They remember that Trump was talking about how she needed to go to jail for her emails, and all the Fox News people were going. Remember? Anyone remember that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that was because it was in what the conservatives and what the conservative quote unquote media was referring to was the accusations that Hillary Clinton had left a bunch of people to, I guess, die in a place called Benghazi or somewhere. Everybody remembers the Benghazi incident. Where those accusations come from was that in 2016, Hillary Clinton's right-hand man, a guy named John Podesta, gets his emails leaked. There's a huge misconception that these are Hillary Clinton's computer emails. No, her right-hand man's emails got leaked, and then there happened to be emails between them both. So when people say her emails, that's what they're referring to. So there are 50,000 emails that were leaked. They were put all over the internet. No one has ever debated, not even the mainstream media has ever debated whether these emails are real. What the debate is about like what these emails mean. Does that make sense? So again, the emails is debate. Everyone agrees that these emails are real. The conservative, the conservative media, the Fox News people are drilling Hillary Clinton about the Benghazi stuff. The liberal media, who is pro Hillary, is not really saying anything about it at all. They're not talking about the email leak. And in the background, when I say in the background, I mean online. People are thinking about there's 50,000 emails, right? Only maybe a couple hundred are about this Benghazi incident. People are looking through these emails and they're noticing that there are these weirded coded emails between politicians and other people. So I'll give you just I'll give you an example just so you know what an email sounds like, but it won't make any sense. So it's one email between John Podesta and some like foreign affairs person in another country. He's basically saying this, or he said, "Would I have a better time playing cheese pizza or walnut sauce?" Now, again, it's obviously code word. At this point in time, seeing this email and going, "Oh my god, these people are pedophiles." What the fuck pizza means at this time. All that people know is that we're seeing these weirded code words. We have no idea what it means. All it does is draw more. We don't know what the emails are, but people notice that there's a place called Comet Ping Pong Pizza that's commonly being referred to in the code. So like there'd be a code and then they'd say Comet Ping Pong, or there'd be like an email that literally just said, "Hey, we're gonna meet at Comet Ping Pong tonight for this fundraiser." And so naturally, we don't know what the emails, we don't know what the code words mean, so everyone draws their attention to Comet Ping Pong. And I'm telling you this as someone who saw all of this in real time in 2016. And I remember when someone suggested, like, "Hey, going on Comet Ping Pong's Instagram." Only 3 days later, they privated everything. So yeah, Instagram when it was public to everybody. But trust me, it's still proof. So when I went on their Instagram, I was shocked not only because I found something, so I don't know why, I just knew this conspiracy was, I guess, like the picture that people would point at the most as the most damning, the one that got spread the most, and you'll see proof of that. It was a picture. I remember one of the first pictures I saw was a picture, but again, this is days after people started going on the Instagram and finding out the weird stuff about the Instagram. Somebody found a old
You know everyone left, right?
2007. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Do you have any questions so far?
No, not really.
Everything you're on point so far. Everything is making sense so far.
Yeah.
So just to sum up, there was 50,000 emails. The emails come out. The conservative people and all the Fox News people are talking about the Benghazi stuff. The liberal people aren't talking about anything. You have a bunch of people online fighting all these code words in the emails. We don't know what code words mean, but we find out there's a pizza place that keeps getting talked about. We go in the pizza place. We find out that they're just doing all this weird stuff. That's where we're at. Okay. All pretty normal, pretty self-explanatory, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so the people start doing research on the pizza place, and 2 days later, after kind of the whole conspiracy about this pizza place comes out, someone finds, and I promise I'll prove everything's real, someone finds an old 2007 FBI report. And this 2007 FBI report was on their website, and it basically was a report that they said it was commonly used QAnon and Donald Trump. Is not according to some guy who's just some YouTube posters, according to the FBI on their website. Okay, and I'll prove to you that exists. Okay, so then once this document got posted, what it did was it put all the context to what the code words and the symbols meant. So you remember at the very beginning of the conversation, I gave you that example of the email. Remember that?
Mhm.
I gave that email example of he said, "But I have a better time playing dominoes or cheese pizza." Of course, again, this is when we're gonna jump into the heart to understand it. So you have to stay with me here, okay?
All right.
According to the FBI, and I'll prove that exists. According to the FBI, what that email was saying, what John Podesta was saying to that woman was, "Would I have a better time torturing a little brown boy or a little white girl?" That is what he was saying to that, according to the FBI. Okay, so.
Mhm.
So when this comes out, let's do this real fast. Let's make it easy, really easy to understand. That's called the day that the FBI thing got posted. That's called that day one. So day one, the FBI thing gets posted. Everybody's kind of talking about it. It starts getting shared beyond. So I remember I was telling you it's just being talked about on like Reddit and 4chan and weekly places that people go to talk about those things. But once we realize it's more than a conspiracy theory, it starts getting shared on Facebook and Twitter. So that makes it starts becoming more. Remember, but that's called day one. We're still on day one. At the end of day one, I remember telling myself in my head, I said, "Okay, this conspiracy is getting way too big because now we have this FBI report, and this is the time where people are like, all right, yeah, obviously this is about some sex trafficking shit." I remember telling myself this conspiracy is getting too big. But remember, I just told you the media said to talk about it. I just told you the conservatives are talking about the Fox News stuff. The liberals aren't talking about anything. I remember telling myself this is getting too big. The media is going to have to talk about it. But you have to understand they don't want to. They don't want to put this in the news. So I told myself, I said, I'm very curious to see what angle they come at this because again, that's the media's job. They have to talk about the news, but they don't want to talk about this. So remember, this is day one of the FBI report being posted. Day two, I wake up and I check my phone, and guess what?
Mm.
Helmet Ping Pong is in the news for the very first time ever, okay? But there's a catch, and when I say the news, take your pick. It's Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. If you don't like this type of media, it was on Fox News, CNN, Vice News. If you don't like Vice News, it was on BuzzFeed. If you just stick on the social media, when I say media, understand mainstream media. Anything that's mainstream, they all do a story on this. They all do a story on it next day, but there's a catch. You wanna know what the catch is?
Yeah.
Here's the catch. The catch is that they aren't doing the story about what I just told you. They aren't talking about the code words. They aren't talking about the FBI report I just talked about. You want to know what they're talking about?
Mm.
That morning, remember, after day one, the day after that FBI got found out, the FBI person got found out, that next morning, a guy went into the pizza place, the same pizza place we were just talking about, A guy went into there with a rifle, a handgun, and a knife, and he was quote unquote looking for pedophiles in a basement. So you have to follow me here. It's going to be the hardest to understand. Very pay attention to me for a second. Follow me here. So think about this for a second. Remember, let's go back to day one, work that related to a pizza place. The day after day one, when that guy goes into the pizza place with a gun and shoots a couple of bullets and gets arrested looking for pedophiles in a basement, the conspiracy theory, the narrative then becomes guy in a basement looking for kids, or guy with a gun looking for kids in a basement. So let me ask you a question real fast. Let me ask you a question, Sid. Say you woke up and you turned on your TV, and whether you're I'm not going to guess what you are. Let's say you're a conservative, you turn on Fox News, or let's say that you're a liberal and you turn on MSNBC. Let's say you turned on the news and disregard everything I just told you about the code words. Disregard everything I just told you about the FBI report, because you think about it. Remember I just told you